Hello, welcome to lesson 4. Here we go. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on this street, from this window, and in this place. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room. These thoughts do not mean anything. So as we begin this today, the text in the lesson even says to sit for just a minute and just observe what's being thought up there. And whether it appears to be good or bad, don't distinguish. They're just thoughts that are being produced. And realize these thoughts don't mean anything. Even the best thoughts or the good thoughts would still pale in comparison to what Holy Spirit would say. They could just be but a glimmer and glimpse and, a little shiny part of what Spirit would have for us. So as we are looking about our day, it says we can go, this thought about blank does not mean anything. It's like the things I see in this room, which we've now established don't mean what I thought they have this whole time. We're not really sure what everything really means at this point because we're not listening to Spirit yet. Spirit is infinite wisdom, power, knowledge, understanding, everything. So that's why we don't want to even discriminate between what we would think is good and bad thoughts, because the thoughts that are filtering through now, that are coming through now, are connected to what we've been listening to, which isn't Spirit on a consistent basis. And Holy Spirit voice, that higher voice of love and truth and all wisdom and understanding, the thoughts we have cannot pale in comparison. So again, we're being willing to let go of how we've been thinking because it's probably not working too well for us. And the mere fact, as I've said, that we experience discomfort and upset, it's always connected to ego thinking. So today's practice, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room. These thoughts do not mean anything. Don't categorize them as good or bad. Just realize what we are used to thinking with our ego thought process cannot pale in comparison to what the purest voice of love would have to say. This just gives us the practice to opening our mind to that possibility. And you can look around and say, this thought about blank does not mean anything. So if something happens at work and a boss or a coworker and you start to have thoughts about it, sit back and go, oh, the thoughts I'm having right now about this situation do not mean anything. They're part of my old way of thinking. I am open to a new way of thinking, therefore seeing and experiencing by listening to Spirit. These thoughts do not mean anything. Have a great day.